So I cleaned all the dust out of it. I wiped the whole computer, reset everything, put it all onto a hard drive, so I've got all my data stuff and all that stuff. And then I loaded it back up, started editing the video again. I was like, oh yes, sorted, sweet. Going through, I started the same issue, and I was like, fuck it, I'm just gonna buy I want to buy the new Mac.
Yeah. And
I was literally, I was like to my sister, I was like, Abby, do you want my computer? I was like, I'm gonna buy a Mac. Because I need to get a laptop, because when I go to Bali I've got a Lenovo laptop. I want to get a Mac laptop just so everything syncs up. I want to get the Mac desktop. They're actually reasonably priced when I look at it. It's 1,500 quid for a Mac. It's not that bad for a desktop, I personally don't think. And it's all like got the M1 chip, so it's a decent bit of kit. It's gonna be good, and I was like, screw it, I'm gonna buy it.
Yeah.
But then only yesterday, my sister came in and she was like, I was like, oh, it's still broken, my computer. I don't know what to do, and I need to get it sorted. So today I was meant to drop it in. No. Tomorrow I was meant to drop it in to a repair shop in Hailsham.
Yeah.
Because I needed to get it repaired, and then I was going to have Wednesday off because I didn't have a computer and I can't do anything without a computer. So my sister went on to Taskmaster, and I didn't know any of this. I know nothing about computers, honestly. Although I work in the digital era, I know nothing about how they work. It's kind of like I drive a car, but I don't know how to fix a car at all. I can change a wheel, that's about it.
Snap.
So went on there, it turned out there was about 150 programs running in the background that I didn't know that was taking up 100% of the CPU, whatever that is. I still don't know what that is. She ended up stopping all them. Oh, works perfectly, nice one. I was literally gonna, because
1,500 that saved you. It could have saved you if you went and bought them.
Exactly.
Jesus.
I don't get me wrong, I still probably will buy the Mac, but I don't need it. I don't need it. Like when I've got 3 times, and that's my way of looking at things now. Once I've got 3 times the amount of what something costs, I will then buy it. If I can buy that, if I want a Ferrari, let's say it costs 250 grand, I need to have at least. You'd probably end up financing it, but I would need to have at least 750k to even think about it, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Or something that is passively paying me some sort of income. So you sort of chuck that in like a value in some sort. But yeah, I feel like that's a very good way, in my opinion, of looking at it. I could be completely wrong, but it works for me. I don't live above my means. I don't go out and spend money on things I don't need. I eat. I've stopped my gym membership because I've got that pull-up thing, so now I'm just learning all that stuff. I said it's getting to summer, I want to go outside, I maybe start running again, do all that stuff. So I live within my means. I was looking at the microphone the other day and I was like, do I need it? I do actually.
Yeah.
It took me a couple of days, and I always say to people, if you want to like reduce your instant gratification, bookmark the thing you want, come back to it in 3 days. Do you really need it?
Yeah.
Or was it an instant like, I want it?
That gratification,
That's it.
And
if you can wait 3 days, then you still want it, then get it.
Most people don't do that. I mean, I'm very big on. I don't know. The girlfriend says to me, "You've got no patience."
She's really impulsive.
Yeah, like if I want something like chlorophyll's I seen it on a TikTok, and this is how bad it is. I seen it on a TikTok, and chlorophyll. Did you know about chlorophyll? Where it is?
I don't know what it is. I've heard of it, but I don't know what it does.
Chlorophyll's like a green liquid that's basically the main active chemical in your spinach, your green vegetables, which is great.
Okay.
Really, really lovely, really good for you. And I seen it on a TikTok, and it was talking about it can reduce bloating and it can help your digestive system, and it's good because you're getting more of the greens and you don't have to have so many vegetable meals. And I'm like, that's really good. I can put that in my protein shakes. Within a few seconds, I've gone from TikTok to Amazon to order it. The next day, getting it, and I'm like, the fuck do I?
Shake.
Put that in a shake, and now I'm tapping it into like different drinks, and I'm like, right. It took me 2 seconds to watch a TikTok to then go and buy something that was $14.99. It's not much money, but you're like.
Do I really need it?
Yeah, I didn't need it before. Why the fuck do I need it now?
Yeah.
Now I've got another additive into my fucking disgusting blends of shakes I have, Now I've got black pepper, I've got peanut butter, I've got creatine, I've got protein, I've got a banana, I've got actual spinach, and then I've got chlorophyll, which is one of the ingredients to the spinach. Jesus. That all goes into a blend that I shake up, and I'm like, yes, I'm super healthy.
But when you said chlorophyll, I was thinking of chloroform. I was like, what, that stuff that you put on your nose to knock people out?
A lot of people were like, what? I took it to work the other day, so I got the pre-workout, and sometimes I have that before a shift. And it's the cherry flavour, and they was like, why is it green? I was like, don't worry, that's just the chlorophyll. And they were like, well, I don't want to be knocked out. I'm like, no, chlorophyll. No, not chloroform. Yeah. And they're like, right. I'm like, yeah.
I was like, yeah, I don't trust that.
And they're like, what else is in it? I was like, I'm not going to tell you because you're not going to drink it. Just drink it first. Just don't
Then
worry.
I'll tell you. Yeah.
There's no steroids or illegal substances. Everything that is legal is in there. But yeah, it took 2 seconds for me to go buy something because I seen a video, and I think a lot of people do that. Like, oh, that's really nice. Boom, on Amazon. I see it tomorrow.
Oh, it's so easy. I've got quite particular. Like, I wanted the Rode mic specifically.
Yeah.
But I always compare everything. So when I bought this phone, which is the iPhone 11, the 12 wasn't out at this time. It was the 11, 11 Plus, and 11 Pro, I think. I think there's like 3 of them or something like that. And I had the 10 and it was, or the X, and it was breaking, so I needed it. I don't really buy anything until I need it. My clothes, they're hand-me-downs from my younger stepbrother.
Younger stepbrother?
Like I said, I was like, "Oi, Cam, what are you chucking out? Can I have a look?" He's like, yeah, of course. He changed up his style, and I was like, oh sweet, I want a pair of them. I've got 3 pairs of trousers. I've got 5 pairs of trousers. I was like, I'm not too proud to say I don't care. I wear a white t-shirt. I don't care. This is a fake Versace t-shirt. I just really like the t-shirt. I think it's really cool, and it fits me nicely.
I think they fit really well. I don't really care what's on the front because one of my favourite t-shirts to wear is the Muscle Fit from Primark, which is £2 or £2.50. Wow. Whenever I'm in Primark, I'm like, right, I'll have all the colours in the Muscle Fit. £2.50. I've got like 5 t-shirts from a tenner or body. And
then if they screw up, they screw up. It's so cheap. I mean, you screw up a real. Well, if that was a real Da Vinci t-shirt, that's about ridiculous. 150 quid.
Yeah, I would never
feel like
spend that.
You're literally like, don't get me wrong. I don't know if I would actually. I really don't know if I would. Like watches, I'll when I've got the money, I will happily spend 100 grand on a watch when I've got the money. I know I will. Yeah. and I will. But I'll probably be wearing a white t-shirt, a pair of like 50 quid trousers, and a pair of loafers from ASOS. I probably will. I don't need. Maybe I'll have like a nice shirt that they're like the better quality shirts. Maybe I will, but I don't need that stuff. I really don't. It doesn't serve me. I'm not a fashionista. Some people are, which if it serves you, buy it. Yeah. If you genuinely enjoy fashion, make yourself up. Make yourself look good. If it makes you feel good, do it.
But don't do it to impress people. Back to people buying it to make themselves look good. A lot of people do that. True. I see a lot of people. So as a bouncer, I see people popping bottles.
Yeah.
But I also know these people in real life.
Probably finance them.
It's not far off. You're like, bruh, I do know that you work in retail and you're getting roughly minimum wage, and that bottle costs £70, which just costs you a whole day's worth of work just so you can pop the bottle, so you can take the picture, so you can put it on Instagram to get the gratification and the acceptance of others. You've spent a day of your life for that bottle. And that one picture, and to be like, oh, we got a sparkler in the club. Yeah. But I also see the other people that come into like a nightclub or a bar that I'm working at, and it doesn't matter what drink they're drinking as long as they get the sparkler, because then everybody else can see that they're balling. And I'm like, bro, those sparklers you could probably get on Amazon
for a couple of quid. You can sit in your house, put a sparkler in it.
Yeah, get a good picture at home.
I suppose that's the way that I like to look at things. Is if it makes you feel good, not to impress other people, get it. For example, like I said, cars, watches, that's my thing. That's my jam. When I've got the money, I will have a fleet of cars because I love cars. I will have a collection of watches because I love watches. I don't care to impress anyone. I don't want to impress anyone. I want to wear a watch because I like to wear a watch. Like I've got 2 fake watches. I've got a Hublot and an AP.
Nice.
They still cost me like just shy of about £1,000 because they're very good quality, and I was surprised how they're both. No, the AP is an automatic one, so you look at it and it looks really legit. Yeah. But I'm not like I don't say I've got a legit one. I said it to a few people as a joke, and I'm like, really? I was like, yeah. They were like, oh no, yeah, it looks so real, you wouldn't even tell. But I don't wear it to like try and impress. I wear it because I just want to wear a watch. Like if I'll go down, I'll literally go down to the beach for a walk home just to put a watch on because I like to wear a watch. Yeah. I don't need to be like, I like to be the centre of attention for certain reasons to help people, for people to listen to me, for me to spread something, some word of wisdom, some piece of advice. But I don't want to stand there going, look at me, look at my watch. But then I do also know at the same time I was very impressionable to that stuff. So one of my other reasons is I want a kid to look at me when I've got a Lambo to go, what do you do? I'm like, right, you got that. Read this book. Because I was impressionable to do that. I remember me and my sister had this joke. There was, whenever I saw someone with a nice car, I would always try and have a conversation with them. I'd be like, what is it you do? I'm just curious.
There's that guy on TikTok who does that now, isn't it?
Yeah.
What do you do for a living?
Exactly. Yeah. So I did that before it was even a thing. If TikTok was around, maybe I'd be famous by now.
Yeah.
But I remember I would go up to people, and my sister says a joke. She was like, I bet you, like, all the car guys, they go to their car meets, and they're like, have you seen that fucking weird kid, black hair? His name's Max. He always asks what you do. Yes, I've seen him.
Yeah.
And they're like, they were talking it, like, for all I know. And that's how I actually came across my one of my mentors. He had a Ferrari, and I was chatting with him, and he ended up helping me with a few things. He took me out in it and stuff like that, and just... It did inspire me. It really did. Even where I'm at now, like where I don't care. I don't care if you've got a Ford Fiesta or a Ferrari. If you're a good person, you're a good person. I'm going to spend time with you. If you're a dick and you've got a Lamborghini, you're a dick.
Yeah.
You're just a dick in a Lamborghini.
Yeah.
Like be a good person, but don't get things to impress other people. Get things because you truly want it. Don't like get a M4 because you want a window open, looking cool with your music loud.
I see it far
looking
too
at people.
much. Yeah.
Get the M4 because you like to drive M4s. Do you know what I mean? Like,
I mean, if you can afford the finance on a car, so my car's financed because me and the missus broke up and I had to get a car within, a certain amount of time. And I was like, well, better get a reliable one.
Means
and
sometimes.
And I'm always in the car. Most of my videos and most of my going to see clients, I need the car. So I was like, alright, I'm going to get me a nice car. But it's really, really cheap. But I see a lot of people be like, yeah, I can just about afford to live or pay rent. I'm like, well, that's because your car's costing you £500 per month.
Yeah.
And you're only earning £1,500. You take away your 600 or 700 for your bills, you're left with 400. You're like, Jesus Christ, that's why. And people are literally doing that. And again, it comes down to they're not doing it because they like it. They're doing it because it impresses people.
They want that brand picture of their
I've
Mercedes.
got the girls because I got a nice car. Yeah, well, when the repo man comes and takes your car, he'll be taking your girl as well. So calm the fuck down.
He's like, alright, I'll take the M4. Yeah, Susan, you coming? Yeah, nice one.
Yeah. She comes in the car. She only liked you for your car. She's going to go with the car. So and it comes down to that. But like you said, if you can afford it 3 times or you can afford it without additional income is being cut off, so say job security. A lot of people are like, no, fuck it. That's why I like the idea of what I do is multiple sources of income. If one hand gets cut off, I've still got a hand in another pie or fingers in many pies. To have one source of income I think is crazy, and a lot of people do that. They'll have that one source of income, then they'll use that one source of income to buy things that will impress people. But if they ever lost that source of income, then they lose the things and they can no longer impress the people that they don't actually fucking like.
So true. And that's the biggest one. They don't really like them. They just want to they just want to look better. I remember one of my old friends, he earned £1,000 a month.
Yeah.
He bought an Audi, I think it was an A5, A4. Including insurance, £500 a month.
That's
half your wages. I was like, you lived at home still, so you didn't have to pay rent. He's come from a wealthy family, so he's got a backing in fairness, but he was paying for it. I was like, that is so stupid. That is so stupid. Like do you know what I mean? Like, there's some months, because I've had months where because I'm like you, I've got multiple sources of income, but they don't all pay me well yet. Like 1 month I can hit. And I've had some more. I've earned more in a month than I've earned in a year before, and I'm like, wow. But then I've also earned in 1 month £600. That's the way being self-employed works.
Unfortunately,
but then I'm working on building that, and not like we said, we don't need that instant gratification.
No.
YouTube, 400 videos. How many hours is that of editing? How many hours is that of videos? That is. I mean, I've just gone past my 4,000 hour watch time, so 4,000 hours have been watched on my YouTube channel. So God knows how many hours I've posted.
Yeah.
And well, it's got to be
and that's got to be 3 times the amount of that's filmed, because then you should cut down videos.
I've got to cut it out, I've got to edit it, because I don't do everything in one shoot. I try and make them more engaging by, like, some things like a podcast, it needs to be done in one shoot, because you want the whole raw footage. Whereas when I do videos and it's just me talking, I cut, I edit, I drop in like text, I drop in sound, I drop in like other C-roll clips and stuff, like, or B-roll clips. So I'm doing all these little things which takes me a lot of time, but I don't need that to pay me right now, because one day it will pay me. And you look at some people that are doing some stuff, they're doing about 10, 20, up to £100 a month from YouTube. That's one source. They've then got businesses paying them 10, 20, 30 grand a month. They've then got, like, I've had some people pay me to do adverts and stuff like that. So some months I've had £400-500 from advertisers to post on TikTok and stuff like that. It's not a lot of money, but it's a bit of something. And all those little things eventually add up. But like you said, I've got different avenues. I really have got different avenues, and I feel like it's just being clear that you want that, because I didn't know what passive. I didn't know that you hear the old adage of the average millionaire has 7 streams of income.
Yeah.
What the fuck are these 7 streams of income? Where are they? I can't off the top of my head. Property, crypto, a business, YouTube. That's all I can think of right now.
But then that's all new stuff as well. So YouTube, crypto,
true.
They wasn't around when the 7 income streams. But the 7 income streams, you know, we look at it kind of in the new age, but they look at the old age. So they obviously have the property side, but then they'll have a bar or a venue.
True.
Then they'll have retail.
True.
Then they'll have some sort of usually a service. So it'd be financial services, law services, things like that. And you're like, fucking hell, yeah, that does come down to a different aspect.
Yeah.
So you've got the retail where they're selling products, then you've got a service one where they're selling a service. Then they've got the property side, or they're outsourcing. I know one guy, he's the manager or owner of buildings, of business properties, and then he's got managers to run them, and then he has multiple sources of income because he owns the properties, and then he's just got the managers to run it, and he's like, this is my bar, this is my barbers, or the manager.
Got you.
Then I take the income on top, and I'm thinking to myself, fucking hell, like that's smart. And then you do see these multiple sources of incomes, you're like, yeah, I like that, and that's where we need to get to, that multiple sources.
It all comes down to mindset, and sort of circling back to the work I do, we've got to start somewhere and realise where we're at. And like I said, hypnosis is a very instant tool. Like, you can put someone in hypnosis literally within a few seconds, and the way it works is incredible. It really fascinates me, the psychology behind it, the science behind it, how it does work. And you can go from thinking, well, I'll never be able to earn that type of money, to, that's possible. It doesn't mean I'm gonna snap my fingers and you're going to go from 1k to 10k a month, because there's still action in the process. But what can happen is you can be earning 1k, we can work on, well, why do you not think it's possible for you to earn 10k? Well, I was always told as a kid that money doesn't grow on trees. So what do you think your belief's going to be? Well, it's a bit more difficult to make. Is that necessarily true? Not really. There's people that have gone from 0 to billions. They have. There's a block somewhere that needs to be removed, and there needs to be a new belief installed. So whether that's to do with business, whether that's to do with your happiness, whether that's to do with your mental health, whether that's to do with a fear. Do you know what I mean? Like, when you look at it, I did a video on fears yesterday. If you're scared of heights, for example, the reason we're scared is what the perceived danger. Now, is our heights actually dangerous? No. Can heights be dangerous? Yes. If there's a building and there's no like lip, and I run up and run over it, my body's going, Max, you stop. It's going to do everything it can to try and stop me. If there's a tiger running towards me, does it make logical sense for me to go? We said about this on that live we did the other day. Does it make logical sense for me to go, yeah, see you later, I'm getting in a fight with that tiger? It's not worth it. The fear is there to serve us, it's there to keep us safe. When the fear becomes irrational, then we start to have an issue. Is going to Tesco's actually going to cause you harm? No. But, well, it could, for all we know, there could be a shooter in Tesco's. There could be. 99.9% of the time. Probably 0.9999999999999% of the time. It's the tiniest little minuscule there may be. I don't want to put that in anyone's head, do you know what I mean? But there's possibilities things can go wrong in life. But social anxiety will cause us the issue to not want to go there, which again, I don't want to look at things. I hate labeling. When I speak to people, I have anxiety. My first sort of work is to help them realise that anxiety is a feeling. So it's not them, it's just a feeling they sometimes feel. I sometimes feel the feeling of anxiousness, or I feel the feeling of anxiety, just to get them to disassociate from themselves. But then I want them to move it to something like fear. Okay, I'm a bit nervous. I get nervous, I get scared, but that doesn't mean I don't take action. I take action despite being scared, despite being nervous, which gets me a result. Because anything you do in life, whatever it is, anything new, first time I spoke on camera, actually it's really weird looking at a camera. and speaking. What am I going to say? How am I going to do it? So sometimes I talk really fast, or I don't move very much, and I sit like that.
I got told off by my ex-girlfriend. She was like, "You're talking too much. I can't understand it." I'm like, "I've done it now. It's done. I'm posting it." Like, I'd be like, "I'm not doing that again," because it was so fucking scary.
Yeah.
And she's like, "You need to slow down." And to be fair to her, she was right.
It takes time though. Do you know what I mean? And sometimes we have to listen to those around us and say, okay, what is working? What's not working? Yeah. I've had people tell me, "You talk way too fast." I've tried to slow down a bit. I think I just naturally talk quite fast, and I try and slow it down as much as possible, but I also accept that that's just the way I talk. Not everyone likes me. Yeah. And I literally, people actively don't like me because I'm positive. People actively don't like me because I do hypnosis. Do you know what I mean? And that's something we have to
you're going to get that, you know. My friend who said would listen to the audiobook. Mm-hmm. So when I first started changing, we used to do a lot of crimes together, and we drink a lot together and drugs a lot together. But when I started to change my life, I started reading, and I started doing entrepreneurial stuff and going to seminars and talking to positive people. And then I'd say to him, "Do this." He's like, "Fuck off." I'm like, "Do this." And he's like, "Fuck off." He's just not ready to change or not ready to accept change. So then I started putting a bit of content online or sharing positive quotes, and because I do it daily, he actually unfriended me from Facebook.
Wow.
I was like, "Bro, you do realise you unfriended me?" He was like, "Yeah, I can't be bothered to listen to your shit anymore." I'm like, fair enough. And back then I got really offended. I was like, "Why does my best friend do not want to be friends with me?" And I was like, "This is bullshit. Like, we've been friends for years." And then I'm like, "It's not me. He just doesn't want to see that. He's not ready to see that."
So true.
And I was like, fuck, people just are not ready, or people just don't like it. That doesn't mean they don't like you. That doesn't mean they don't want to see you. It's just the shit that you're saying is too real for them. Shit that you're doing they don't want to see or they can't accept. 100%. No matter how real your quotes are, how positive you can be, some people just can't accept it or will not accept it.
But it's also, to them. When you look at it, like two people can look at the exact same thing. We can both look at this Rode microphone. Let's say I didn't know anything about technology, videography, anything like that. What's the point in getting that? Just get a microphone. Like, you know, you've got the other. Well, just get that one.
The shotgun mic.
Like,
why not?
Did you have that before?
Yeah.
Before you got that?
Yeah.
Well, why'd you buy that?
Yeah.
Why'd you buy that? To you, you're like, because it makes sense.
Yeah.
So two people can look at the exact same situation and get a whole different perspective. So this is why I was saying about one doesn't always equal two. The same thing can happen. Someone could get punched in the face.
Yeah.
One person could be like, happens, it's life.
Yeah.
Other person, never going out ever again. I might get punched in the face. Is it the punch in the face? No, it's the perception we give the punch in the face, which effectively causes a chemical feeling in our body.
Yeah.
The sort of the science behind it. The energy goes straight to part of the brain called the amygdala, which then goes, right, fight, flight, or freeze. Then when something is going to come up, the anticipation causes that old feeling to go, right, never going out again. Yeah. And this is where anxiety comes from. This is where fear comes from. Trauma comes from. The greatest example probably is people in war. After they've gone to war, they hear a firework.
Straight up
on the ground.
Yeah.
Why? Because their body response is saying, fight, flight, freeze, fight. They're most likely going to fight. Some people end up having the tremors and they end up getting really bad PTSD. But the body's response is natural, it's instinctive. It is literally in an instant to say, okay, something bad is happening, get me out of here. Yeah. Or at least cover. Like, I need to protect my family, I need to protect my friends, I need to protect myself. And there's three questions we always ask ourselves. Can it kill me? Can I eat it? Can I have sex with it? Without even realising, they're the three questions we will always ask ourselves. So, like I said, when you're in the wild and you see a tiger, can't eat it.
Yeah.
Most likely can't kill it unless I've got a gun. Definitely can't have sex with it.
Yeah.
So, what should I do? Get out of there. Get to survival. Don't even think about, what do I want for dinner tonight? Or, I want to create my dream life. No. Get out of survival. You need to get out of there.
Yeah.
And a lot of people nowadays live in survival. They live in, well, I've got to pay the bills. I can't think about a dream. I can't think about living a dream.
Yeah.
People have.
Do you reckon it comes down to that instant kind of mindset that we've got into now? We can't think about things too long. We can't travel or we can't go towards these dreams and goals because we're too busy moving on to the next thing. Like, nah, fuck it. That's not going to work. I'm just going to carry on doing what I'm doing.
Yeah, I think. Don't get me wrong. This has been around for ever since life. Do you know what I mean? Ever since probably the cave times. I don't know. Actually, ironically, it is the cave times. let's say there was a caveman and a cavewoman sort of getting it on, and then gossip spreads that they weren't meant to be together or whatever. This man then gets kicked out of the tribe. He's then on his own. He's left in survival.
Yeah.
So we do things naturally to try and fit in with people. So at the end of the day, we're gonna do whatever is gonna keep us as safe as possible, and safety comes from our perception of what we've been told.
Yeah.
So if we live in a society where it's safe to carry a knife because you might get stabbed, you understand why some people carry knives.
Yeah.
If you've grown up literally in a cul-de-sac full of £10 million houses, you don't think people can't afford a car.
No.
Your dad's got a Lambo, your mum's got a Ferrari, your sister's got a Range Rover, you've got a Range Rover, all paid for. It's not that they're ignorant, because they're not always. Sometimes they are. Which rich, poor, you can be ignorant either. Happy, sad, doesn't matter. It doesn't mean they're ignorant. It just means they don't think about it.
Yeah.
I don't know. Have you ever seen the program Rich Kids Go Skint? I think it is. Where they go and live with a poor family.
No, I've seen some of it advertised, but I've never actually watched the show.
Okay, so I quite enjoy watching it actually. It's where the rich. Oh, well, actually, no. There's one called Family Swap. I can't remember exactly what it's called. Something like Family Swap. And a rich family swaps with a poor family.
Yeah.
They take their weekly budgets and they live in their houses and they do what they do. These people that earn a lot of money, if they've always had a lot of money.
Yeah.
So, for example, the guy grew up very poor, made millions.
Yeah.
So he knew what it was like to budget. He always knew that. His wife and kids had always lived a comfortable life. She wasn't as wealthy as him, but she lived a comfortable life. The kids have always had that. When it came to, they had 60 quid for the week versus usually have $4,000 for the week.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? They're earning good money, which he deserves. So you can't knock it from him. 60 quid then gets them. Right, can we get 1 can of beans or 2? Just get 1. They're budgeting this stuff, and it makes them realise oh shit, I never thought people had to think about this stuff. We just get a cardo that delivers 500 quid worth a week.
Yeah.
And they don't think about it. She's like, oh yeah, no, I just get 15 avocados. I always have avocado on toast. If I don't eat them, I'll chuck them out.
Yeah.
Whereas they're like, no, we can only get 1, because if that goes off, then I can't afford it, or I can't afford avocados because they're too expensive. Do you know what I mean? So, sort of to answer that question, we naturally want to be in that, or we want to move away from survival, move more towards creation.
Yeah.
But it's difficult to do when you're in survival, which I understand. But that's when it's most necessary. Do you know what I mean? And if you listen to Joe Dispenza's work, which you do, and if you listen to Joe Dispenza's work, you must. Yes. Joe Dispenza, if you're watching this, I will work with you one day, I guarantee it.
Yeah.
But effectively, if you are unhealthy, you need to move into the mind frame of health.
Yeah.
It's very hard when you're unhealthy. If you are not wealthy, you need to move into the mind frame of I am wealthy, which is very hard.
Yeah.
If you are unhappy, you need to move into the mind frame which is I am happy, which is very hard. None of this work is easy. A lot of unwiring needs to be done.
Yeah.
Let's say for 34 years of your life you've spoken, because 34 years they say that's when sort of your full programming is there. It's not harder. Well, it's a little bit harder. It's like learning a language.
Yeah.
You want to learn a new language. If there's a kid who's 5 and you teach them Spanish, they're going to pick it up a lot quicker than someone who's 35.
Yeah.
It's just natural. So the younger we learn stuff, the better, obviously. So if you're 34, 35 years old and you've been conditioned to speak English, and I said to you, you're 33, and I said to you, right, Fatz, we're going to speak in Spanish this whole podcast. You don't speak Spanish, do you?
No.
No, me either. But if I said that, you'd be like,
the fuck? Yeah.
No, I can't do that.
No,
can't do it. Not going to happen.
No.
Well, no, you've got to. Well, just think, I am Spanish. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. We need to learn something, and that takes time. So, yes, do the hypnosis. Come see me, do the hypnosis. Let's make these shifts. Let's remove all these blocks that you have. Let's remove those limiting beliefs that I'm never going to be able to learn Spanish. Let's replace it to, I'm going to learn Spanish.
Stop Netflix and start learning Spanish.
Exactly. Put your Netflix in Spanish.
Yeah.
All these little things, put subtitles on. You can do it that way. You can find creative ways of learning different things, but you still have to get up and actively learn it.
Yeah.
In order for me to, like I always say, it's like Tony Robbins says, you can't go out in your garden and chant, there's no weeds, 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 to de-weed your garden. You can say that, there's no weeds and I'm going to have a good garden, but you have to you've got two choices. Pay someone to do it,
Yeah.
or do it yourself. For whatever reason, you could chant there's no weeds, there's no weeds. Someone could come around and be like, oh, I'm doing free garden de-weeding to promote my business. That could happen, but don't bank on that happening.
Yeah.
And the other day I was speaking to my sister, and I made a video. Actually, it's going to come out, I think, today. Yeah, it's going to come out today on my YouTube, if I've got time, if I can get it.
That's true from Jordan Belfort. You know, you can't just pray for $1 million and it'll come. But on the flip side of the law of attraction, yeah, we can't pray for $1 million and it's going to come. But if you go to Jim Carrey's story, who put that 10 million in check into his wallet, and then he was like, right, I'm going to have this one day. But then he worked and worked and worked, but still manifested because he knew what he wanted. So he went out and worked for it. So I think Jordan Belfort's definitely got a point. You can't pray for $1 million, or like Tony Robbins said, you can't, no weeds, no weeds, no weeds, and then there'll be no weeds. You can't just do it that way. You have to do the actions, and like you said, you have to take the small steps to work towards what you want. But you do have to manifest it by looking at it, imagining it, finding a goal. A lot of people be like, I want to be rich. How rich? How many millions?
Yeah.
I don't know, a few million. Like, okay.
Be crystal clear with it.
Yeah.
Well, it's ironic actually, because I'm sort of in two minds with this, because I've actually experienced instant manifestation within seconds, within seconds of thinking of something and generally creating it, with quite a few things down to money, money quite a few times actually, but it doesn't happen every time. So I do believe that when you're on such a high vibrational frequency, have you ever read the book Power versus Force?
No.
So that's a really, really good book in regards to your vibration, like how you're being.
Yeah.
So whether you're vibrating at a level of shame, whether you're vibrating at a level of anger, apathy, courage, neutrality, like there's a whole scale, or enlightenment. So shame to enlightenment is the scale. If you're acting on a state of shame, it's very difficult to create anything in your life.
Yeah.
You can't even create happiness. You can't. When you're in a place of love and enlightenment, things do naturally start to happen a lot quicker. So I 100% agree. Don't just think about it and, like Jim Carrey says, and then go and make a sandwich.
Yeah.
Work towards it, because in order to align yourself with being it, so if you want to manifest anything, you have to think about it, you have to create it, but you have to become it.
Yeah.
So I want to manifest £1 million. I don't think about £1 million. I think about who is the person I need to become to earn £1 million.
Yeah.
But then I also realise anyone that earned £1 million didn't just do it like that. There is still a process.
Yeah.
Regardless of what you say. Can you win a lottery? Yes. Can you win a scratch card? Yes.
That's a chance though, isn't it?
Yeah. It's possible, but it's a very low chance.
Yeah. And I'm guaranteed all the people who won the lottery didn't manifest it. They didn't go, oh, I'm going to win a lottery!
Yeah.
And then win it.
Exactly. Like someone said the other day, how many of the I won this amount of money on the lottery videos have you watched? How many times have you won the lottery?
Yeah.
Not many. Or probably not ever. Maybe you won like a 10 or 100 quid or something. Well, one time I was one number off. It was like I had three numbers. 4 numbers was 10 grand.
Nice.
And I had 4 numbers, and the other number was like 41, and I had 40, and I was like, I would have won 10 grand.
Oh.
But effectively, if you want it, like even people that have said they've manifested lottery, they're like, but I still actively went and built a company, a plumbing company, that paid me a lot of money, and then I did win the lottery. Yeah. So I was still acting in coherence with generating abundance in my life. Like, you still have to act with it. So like Joe Dispenza says, think about it, feel it. What would it be like if you already had it? Start getting to work with it. So research people. I researched Tony Robbins. Okay, well, what did he do? It took him a few years to get up and running. He started running seminars. He went broke.
Yeah.
He then did this. Listen to people. Did they lose it? This is where now we're in a good time where we've got so much information that I know all this stuff about. I would rather invest in a passive income than go and buy a house that I'm going to live in, personally. I'd rather downsize my life and have something that's paying me.
I feel that's what a lot of people are aiming for now. They're like, I'm on the property ladder. No, you now own a property that you're going to live in till you die.
Which depreciates. Well, it may appreciate, but with the market. So it's not really appreciating.
Yeah, I mean, but they're only... It's like a status now. I think a lot of people...
I'm a homeowner.
I'm a homeowner. Right, you're going to be a homeowner. In 2 years or 3 years, you're going to have 3 kids. Now you're going to be broke as shit because you're paying a mortgage and you've got 3 kids, and then you're stuck back in that cycle of, fuck yeah.
Now I have to go to work, to pay for the car, to pay for the house, because I need the car to get me to work, and then the house to live in. So it is a perpetual
It's going to be a horrible cycle. And then they earn more, they work their way up at their company, and then they're like, fuck it, I'll buy that new car because I'm earning more money. And then they go from, maybe their BMW to their Audi, or their Audi to their Mercedes, or whatever way they want to do it. They upgrade the car, they upgrade their house, and then they have a few kids, and then they're stuck back in the cycle. And I think it is that status.
See their kids on the weekends.
I own a nice car, I own a nice house. No, you finance a nice car, and you've got a mortgage on the house, which keep you both broke, and all your money you're earning, you can't have 3 holidays a year because you haven't invested any of that money. You haven't 100%. Got a passive income, you haven't got multiple sources of income, you haven't got buy to lets, you haven't made any money from your property. What you've done is you've got yourself a mortgage, which is a long-term debt.
Well, yeah, exactly. When you look at it like that and you actually explain it, most people don't realise that.
No, but you've become to that status.
Well,
and people are like, you got a nice car. Yes, I do. You got a nice house.
Yes,
it's my house. No, it's not. Both the car and the house are both a debt that you have to pay for the rest of your life now.
Exactly.
And nobody wants to look into that. Like you said, you want that passive income. You want the multiple sources of income. If I'm going to invest into a property or get into property, I'm looking at buy to let. I don't care if I'm paying rent or I'm getting a mortgage for myself. If I'm not looking at getting into property to do stuff with it, whether I'm doing a property up and selling it, or whether I'm going to buy to let it, or I'm going to rent out a few places, that's where I'd like to go in property. I don't want a property to flash off some keys and be like, I own a home.
I'd rather live in a
Who
cheap
the fuck
flat.
cares? Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Massively cheap
or
flat.
even, like, I've genuinely debated it, I would happily buy a van and make it into a mobile home.
I was looking at vans the other day, like a caravan, these converted caravans. You're like, I could get my 2 dogs in there and I could happily just go around the country. Because a lot of the work I do is kind of off, and I'm always in the car anyway, and I'm thinking to myself,
I've debated it.
I live with my sister. What would she do? And I'm thinking to myself, at the moment it's not, doable. But that's something I should definitely do.
But it's a potential. Do you know what I mean? What life's a journey. Like I've created the job that I have. Like I know it's manifested itself. If I want to take today off, I can take today off. I'm taking Wednesday off because I want to take Wednesday. I didn't take any time off over the weekend, but I want to take the Wednesday off to give myself a bit of time off. If I want to go on holiday for a month, I can go. I can still work if I want. That's why I want to go out to Bali. I've got some friends out there that I'm potentially thinking of living out there. Nice. It just depends the best way, whether I do pay tax here and I come back here for X amount of time. I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to work out when I get there. But all I need is a laptop, a phone and a camera.
A lot of people don't realise that.
But but that's the thing, like, create a job that you genuinely want. I like the idea. Freedom for me, when I look at anything, freedom was always the biggest thing. I want to be free. That's always the biggest thing I always wanted. I am as free as I want to be. Like, I can come here. What's the time now? Nearly 11. I came here at 9. Most people are stuck in a job. Like, do you know what I mean?
2 hours to do this.
Exactly. And they have to. Some people commute to London. Again, I'm not knocking it. If it suits you and you genuinely enjoy it, some people thrive off that. They really enjoy the corporate environment. Personally, couldn't think of anything worse.
No.
For me, doesn't mean it's the right answer. Just like I said, life is linear to us. It's unique to us. There's my right answer, but there's your right answer, and there's your right answer. So start taking your next logical steps, and eventually you'll begin to realise what you want. And for me, freedom was the biggest thing, and that's where it's led me to, okay, how can I do stuff mobily? And originally I wanted to set up a hypnosis practice. But then so I was doing some stuff one-to-one. COVID hit, and it encouraged me to do more stuff online. I can get the exact same results working hypnotising someone online, so why not work online? I was like, that makes so much sense. But then I was like, I'm looking forward to running retreats. Really looking forward to it. I went to a retreat, fell in love with the idea, love Bali, and I just love it. So I was like, okay, it makes sense for me to give it a go. What's the worst that can happen? Come back and do exactly what I was doing before.
Start again.
But not even start, just go back to where I was.
You'd have all those lessons as well, where you've had that experience, where you had that time and to chase that dream.
Well, that's it, man. That's it. And I feel like that's one thing that I know you want to do as well, is encourage more people to just chase that dream. Like, don't take no for an answer, like you said. Like, all this stuff is like a person who's late working 100 hours for themselves, avoid working 40 hours for someone else. It's so true. Like,
Yeah.
I can't remember who it was. Someone said they were earning 100 grand a year for someone, so they were working as an employee. Then they went to work for themselves and started earning 30 grand a year.
Yeah.
But they're working for themselves. They'll take Friday off. They'll take Friday off. You work for someone.
That freedom, and you got a lot more happiness. A lot of people be like, oh yeah, I work really hard and I get loads of money. You work really hard. You put in extra hours, you know. And I know a lot of people who put in the extra hours. They're the managers or they're area managers, and they put in a lot of hours. They put in overtime. They get the stress. They have the issues that they've got to deal with constantly, and they're really unhappy. But they've got that car and that house to say that I've got that nice car and I've now own my own house, to then be broke all the time, to be stressed about work all the time, which is running them into a grave. And then I know people who be like, I'm self-employed, I'm paying my bills, my car's not the best, my house, and you know, I'm working towards getting on the property ladder, but they're happier because they've got more time with the kids, they've got more time to invest in themselves, they've got more time to grow their own business.
Well, some people don't even want to be like wealthy they don't want streams of income. They just want to go to work Monday to Friday or Monday to Thursday.
Yeah. Well, the last person I spoke to in here was Real Talk George, and he travelled down from Guildford, I believe.
Oh, that's right. I used to live near there.
Guildford.
Yeah, near there.
It's not. I've worked in sports directing in Guildford. But he come down and he was like, "Oh, what's your goal?" And that I was like, to be fair, I'd be happy every month with £5 income per month. And he was like, that's good. And I was like, yeah. I mean, a lot of people be like, I want 50 grand a month, guaranteed. I'm like, let's just be logical. Could you live comfortably with £5 grand? Yeah. Aim for that first. When you've got the 5, then go for your 10.
100%. 100%.
A lot of people are like, no, why are you doing it so low? You can go really high. I want to earn $1 million a month.
It's possible, but if you earn £1 grand a month saying you want to earn $1 million, let's be logical here. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm an optimist at heart. You want to earn $1 million a month? You can fucking do that. You want to earn 12 million a year? More than possible. There's people that earn 100 million a year. Do you know what I mean? But, and this is actually what a mentor told me. When he first said this to me, I got a bit butthurt. I started writing down my goals. January, 2k. February, 4k. March, 8k. And I got to the end of December, 32k a month. And I told him about it, and he's like, how much do you earn at the moment? A couple £100 a month?
Yeah.
He's like, well, you're fucking stupid then.
Yeah.
Initially I was like, ow. Ow. But when I looked at it, I was like, it's quite true. He's like, start where you're at. If you don't even earn £1 grand a month yet, aim for 3. Once you hit 3, aim for 5. Once you hit 5, aim for 10. Like, constantly grow and don't limit yourself. Because like I said, possibilities are endless, but don't expect 50k a month when you're earning 1k a month, because it's not actually logical. It's not. There's a few people that have done it. They have, and I'm not saying it's not possible, but let's start where we're at, and like going back to the gym analogy.
Yeah.
Don't go and do 2 hours a day, 7 days a week, twice a day. It's not logical. You are not there yet. Don't try and start a company and having 50 employees tomorrow. Start a company, employ yourself. Yeah. Then employ other people. You don't employ 50 people straight away, you employ 1. That 1 turns to 2. Then it turns out you need admin, you need accountant, you need this, you need that, you need this, you need that. Okay, so now I've got to employ 10 people. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm not at that point. I've paid people to do stuff for me. I do get people to do like freelance work rather than employ them.
It's great, the book, The E-Myth. Have you seen that one?
No, someone told me about that, and I do need to read that. I was in a clubhouse room, someone was telling me about it.
I listened to the audio and I read half the book. I don't know why I read half the book, but I listened to the audio. And yeah, it was about delegating tasks out to people. Like, no manager or owner of a company needs to do everything, but we get into that mindset, as a lot of people do nowadays.
I'm in that mindset. Yeah. I'm in that mindset right now.
It's great when you first start out, but if you don't start delegating at some point, then you're going to be using all your man hours. Let's say you get £50 an hour to be a chippy or whatever, just for an example. I know you're done, but then you're spending 2 hours of your day doing your tax return, which costs somebody else £20 an hour. You could have been earning that extra £50 an hour, but you know, and spending 20
you could have
on
been
them.
30 quid up.
Yeah, £30 up, but you're not, because you're too busy doing shit yourself. And I thought that makes so much fucking sense.
Yeah.
If you pay somebody less and still earn more while you're paying them less, then you only earn a little bit of that money that you could still be earning more on, rather than taking the time out and doing it yourself. Then you don't earn any money. And I was like, fuck.
It makes so
true.
much sense. But then that makes sense of everything. Why do people, like, can people have transformations to remove their fears from their life? Yes.
Yeah.
You don't need to see a hypnotist. Do you want to do it faster? Okay.
Yeah.
Do you want to do your tax return faster? Yeah. Pay an accountant. Do you want to get rid of your fear quickly? Pay a hypnotist.
Yeah.
Do you want to grow your business? Pay a business coach. Do you want to remove trauma or anxiety? My opinion, I always go with hypnosis. That's my sort of...
Yeah.
Again, not everyone...
It's your speciality, yeah.
Not everyone likes hypnosis. I understand that. Does it work? Yes. Well, use it if it works. If you can't afford it, what can you do?
Yeah.
Can you find free hypnosis tapes on YouTube? Yes. Go on to Max Hindle on YouTube. There's 30 days worth of hypnosis. Everything from reducing stress, clearing anxiety, removing fears, removing limiting beliefs, creating your future, quantum jumping, all these variety of things. 30 days worth of meditation. There's at least 35 meditations and hypnosis tapes on my YouTube specifically for things like anxiety, things for fears, things for trauma. Use it. It's free.
Yeah.
Are you going to get as good results as working with me? Probably not. Some people do.
Yeah.
I've had some people literally message me saying they've manifested more money from doing my thing. I was like, brilliant. Fair.
Great.
There's other people, I don't feel anxious anymore. Brilliant.
Good. Yeah.
Some people, I still feel a little bit anxious. Okay, let's work with me. Let's do it a bit faster. Because like, anxiety isn't like, I'm anxious. Oh, now I'm confident.
Yeah.
I'm anxious. I'm a little bit less anxious. I don't have much anxiety anymore. Or I feel a little bit anxious sometimes, but I don't really feel it that often. And then eventually we get to courage, and then we get to confidence. It's a staircase. It's like anything. Like going back to property, you have 1 inch source of income, or not property, just income in general. You have one source of income.
Yeah.
Once you've got that on lockdown, go to step number 2.
Yeah.
Get your second source. Don't start your third business while you're still in the midst of starting your first business.
Oh, so many do that. They got so many fingers in different pies.
Yeah.
All of the fucking pies are being burnt anyway. So what's the point?
That's exactly what I did. I was in a network marketing company. I was running a marketing agency. I was working a job. I was trying to do drop shipping. I was trying to do affiliate marketing.
Yeah.
And I think that was it. At one time I was doing 5 things. And I remember, I can't remember what it was. I did something called an Enneagram. I don't know if you've heard of it. It's kind of like Myers-Briggs, like personality test. And it was telling me that my personality on the Enneagram is to have my finger in different pies.
Yeah.
And it was very logical at the time for me to go, right, let's do one thing at a time here, Max. And this is where I went all in with hypnosis, sort of coaching, hypnosis, all that kind of stuff. Before I did hypnosis, it was more coaching. And yeah, it made sense for me to stop doing that, which was hard to break away, because then I was fully committed. My natural personality is not to commit too much into one thing.
Yeah.
It's just what it is. So it was scary, but I sort of courageously went in. I was like, right, fuck it, if it doesn't work, I can always go back to those 5 things.
Yeah.
But now I'm here. And it's led me down this road which is blossoming, it's beautiful, and it's allowing me to create content. It's got me thinking of great ideas. Hopefully in this next year or so there will be a Netflix show out. That's one of my biggest goals, is to get something like that out, have potentially something recurring with that, more known on YouTube, and I'm putting the action in, but also don't discount the action that you're doing. Do you know what I mean? Like, yes, I used to be someone who took drugs. Yes, I used to be someone who got into a lot of violence. Yes, I used to be possibly the shyest person. Like, coming here and meeting someone new for the first time, I would have been so anxious about it. Like, I don't know what to say. What if you ask me questions?
Exactly the same.
And well, you can relate to it as well. Like, you have to make shifts in your life.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean you don't get nervous still, because still times you probably get nervous.
So it's a YouTube, I think the latest vlog, so I do the vlogging on YouTube.
Okay.
I think it's the latest vlog or the one before. You'll see me, I had a night of crying, so overthought, cried. It carried on till the next day. You'll see me drive up to the gym in one clip, and I'm like, right, I'm at the gym, guys, I'm gonna overthought last night. And I talk to people like, I've overthought last night, I cried last night, but I'm gonna go gym, I'm gonna be alright. The next clip is me driving around like, I thought too much in the car, I couldn't go into the gym, got anxiety, I had to drive away.
Wow.
So I went for a drive, turned the music up, 10 minutes later I went back to the gym, or 15 minutes later, whatever it was, and I was ready to go again. But it's kind of taking your mind away from overthinking for that 2 seconds. And you know, it hits everybody. You know, everybody now and again, we get that anxiety, we get that fear, we get that. But it's how people get over it. Some people can't.
That's the
Some
biggest
people
thing.
will be like, well, that's 2 days it's gone on for. Some people will be like, it just doesn't fucking stop.
Yeah. That's one of the things I really enjoy about what I've done for myself is it used to take me a week to get over the anxiety.
Yeah.
Then it took me 6 days, then 5, then 4, then 3, then 2, then 1. And now I don't even class nervousness or fear as anxiety anymore. It's just not part of my vocabulary. It just happens. I just get nervous at some things, and I do. But that can take me seconds to get over now because I've got the processes.
Yeah, so it's bit of music, bit of whatever you do to get over it, you're done.
Exactly, and that's why I say find someone who's got the information because they know what they're doing. They know what they're doing. Like it took me because I didn't have any money, which not everyone does, and I completely appreciate that.
Yeah.
It took me 3 years to gain that type of 3 years to gain the information. Then I came across hypnosis, and what I gained in 3 years sped up in 3 months. I just started to see these massive shifts in my life. And when I started to learn hypnosis, I started to realise I can control stuff really quickly now. Really quickly, because I do a lot of self-hypnosis and I teach people self-hypnosis as well. So what did take me 3 years then happened in 3 months. So now what used to take me 7 days to get over can literally take me 7 minutes. Maximum. Because I've got the processes. Sometimes, don't get me wrong, I'll sit and I'll meditate for half an hour because I need it.
Yeah.
And I will do that. Sometimes I'll feel nervous. I'm like, right, that's it. I'm going to jump in anyway, even though I'm scared. I don't want to do it. That means I want to face it. That means I need to do it. And that's why I want to work with fear, because when I've started to face my fears, I've seen shifts. For example, don't want to dive too much into it, maybe a bit controversial, but I was in a shop in Tesco's during COVID, and a guy having a massive go at me because I wasn't wearing a mask. Literally trying to attack me. Literally, I was with my ex, and we were walking around the shop, and so immediately I got a little bit protective, and I was quite disappointed what came out, because like this guy was like, "Well, you're killing people." I was like, "You don't know me. I actually help people for a living." He was drunk. I completely appreciate that. He looked homeless, like not any hate towards him, but he was like, "I'm gonna knock your head off." Kept sort of fishing around the shop, finding us, screaming, shouting, starting on me. And then my girlfriend was there, and I said to her, I was like, "What are you gonna do?" I was like, "What are you gonna do?" I was like, "Go on, do something now. I'll do it." And I literally, I was a bit like, "Oh, that's the old Max. I don't like that," and it really did affect me for a bit. And so immediately, my perception of shops at the time was, don't want to go into shops. So when I would get that feeling, my immediate response was, that's it, I have to go to a shop now. And my immediate response to fear now is take action. Take action on that fear, dive right into it. Whereas before it was, don't want to do it, don't want to do it, don't want to do it. It took me time to do it, but it took me a bit of time using hypnosis. Like I said, it just sped everything right up. But it did take me a bit of time to get that program to say, I'm scared, face that, what's making you feel scared, face it now. When you start to face it, everything starts to change. And that's what I've noticed, and that's, like I said, that is now why I want to work with fears, and I want to be the #1 fear expert in the world to help people instantly overcome fears. I know I can do it in a very short period of time. And I've got a few sort of projects coming out. So like I said, with ideally the Netflix thing, hopefully it'll be Netflix. I don't know whether I'll sell it to something else. It's sort of a goal. The Netflix is the goal. That's where I want to be. And then there will be things that accompany with it that people can do at home. So like they can do their own processes if they can't get on the show. Like ideally I want to do it like that, where I'm like, right, I've got 1,000 applications, let me pick someone who's going to be on the show. That'd be the dream for me. It's going to take a bit of time, don't get me wrong, it's going to take a lot of work, but eventually it can happen, and I don't need it to happen tomorrow, but one day it will happen, and hopefully I'll look back on this video and I'll be like, oh, I remember sitting there. I
manifested that.
And that's why I like to do all these type of videos, because like we said about, it's difficult to relate to Tony Robbins now because of where he is. Even though he's had, and you listen to his story, he had a very awful past. But when you listen to it, you're like, but you're Tony Robbins. Like you are Tony Robbins. When he was my age, Tony Robbins wasn't a name. Like no one knew Tony Robbins. But now you say, oh, do you know, what's his name, Robbins? Tony Robbins? People know it. Like in probably 30 years time, hopefully, people will be like, oh, Hindle, what's it? Max Hindle, that's it. Yeah, that's it. You know Max Hindle, when you watch my stuff from age 23 and say, okay, he was starting to do relatively well. Then he manifested this.
Yeah.
There's stuff that I wish I would have done earlier, in fairness, when I was really anxious, which I'm kind of gutted, not really. I wish I did put more on when I was more anxious.
I think the good thing about now is a lot what Gary Vee says and what you've just touched on is a lot more people are documenting now. So when we do, become successful, when we do make stuff in life, or we get to a certain stage, you can say to people, this is where I come from. People would be like, Tony Robbins, all you can see is the older videos, and he still looks, he looks older, but he's already doing a seminar.
Yeah.
There's none of that. Oh, did you see him when he was broke? Did you see him when he first started out with his mobile phone? Because when I first started doing videos, it was like a mobile phone or a lot of my videos I do through the mobile now, obviously the vlog stuff because it's always with me, but people need to see that come up. They need to see when you weren't making it. They need to see when you was broke. And I wish I had more videos of me doing drinking drugs and fucked up because I could show people, be like, look, there's me being sick.
I've got the worst video. Oh, look, I just put on my phone and it's 11:11 the time. I've got this video of me. It is dreadful. I've got loads of pictures. That's the thing. I'm quite open with my past life. So I've got pictures like that. Me on holiday with my mates.
I've got some.
That's me on, I think, MDMA. There's one video. Where was it? This one. Look at the state. So we're just all completely off our heads.
Yeah.
Off our heads.
Wow.
All of it. It was just a.
That's some serious gurning right there.
Yeah, it really was. Like all this stuff that went on.
I definitely don't miss that.
Oh, these ones. Look. I was on pills. Look at the state of my eyes.
Yeah, but at the time you feel great. But when you look back at it,
great.
There's a couple of pictures of me in Atlantis on the pier.
Okay, yeah.
I was on a lot of cocaine, and at the time I was feeling great. I'm like, yeah, come on, ladies, I'm the dancer, And then you look at the pictures the next day, like, fucking, that is hideous. Like, your eyes are pinging, you're sweating, your hair's a mess, and you're just, come on, ladies. And then you're like, well, that's why nobody spoke to you.
Well, exactly. I feel. But that's the thing, like, that's why I'm glad we can do stuff like this, like we'll stay connected because we've got this in common and we'll see each other's growth and stuff like that, and that's what I like about this space. It's collaborative. Like, we want to make our own content, we do, we've got our selfish reasons, but also we want to see other people grow. So this helps you, this also helps me. Like, it gives me something to look back on as well as, and I'm sure I'll probably end up stealing some of the clips and sticking them on my account.
Send it over to you. But it has come to a longer one than usual, which I'll probably split this into two parts. One to maximise content, and two not to scare people with like, whoa, that's a 2-hour video, I'm not watching that. So hopefully I'll split it into some parts. But where can people find you? Just to end, just in case somebody's clipped in at the end or somebody's clocked on the end. Where can they find you? What do you do? And what's coming from you? So if you want to find me, you can type in Max Hindle on any social media platform. My Instagram is Maxim 1111on, so it spells Maximilian. My name isn't Maxim, everyone thinks it is. Or you can type in maxhindle.com. You can get all my information, all my my social media's not on there actually, I need to update that. So you can find that, or like I said, on Google, or just type in Max Hindle, you'll find me somewhere. And yeah, like I said, I work with people predominantly. I do 7-week programs and I help people release fears, traumas, anxieties. I'm starting to move away from anxieties and traumas and starting to focus solely on fears now. And ideally I want to get that down to 30 days. That's sort of the goal. Ideally 14 days, eventually down to 1 day. Not 100% likely, like, it's got to be a process. And yeah, if you want to find me, just drop me a message. I always do I call it a free quantum reading with people. Just say, sort of, see where you're at. Like, where are you? Where do you want to be? If I'm that bridge, let's do it. And then go from there. But yeah, if you want to find me, drop me a message. I will answer any question anyone has. And if I'm not the right person to help you, I'll point you in the right direction. That's all I can say. Beautiful. Thank you very much for coming on, Max.
My pleasure, brother. I appreciate it.
Thank you.